BSTN.
Yeah, welcome to SAS Center. I'm your host, Rob Jones, aka the mayor of Inbound. Our top story in first segment, a Mount Rushmore themed around clay. Yes, it's time for that segment where we celebrate the four greatest, whatever we want. This week, it's Clay's 4 commandments for hitting $100 million in annually recurring revenue. Number 4, reverse demos. What's a reverse demo? Well, it's when the customer shows you how they'd use your product. Clay made self-serve onboarding where users literally teach themselves. It's genius because, hear me out, your prospects are typically geniuses and they already know their problems better than you do. Revolutionary concept, I know. Number 3, invested irrationally in brand. Clay sponsored everything. They had billboards at Inbound, podcasts, newsletters, conferences, probably somebody's birthday party. They didn't wait until they could afford it. They just did it. Malcolm Gladwell would call this the 10,000 hour rule, except it's the 10,000 touch point rule, maybe. Be everywhere until people can't remember a time you weren't everywhere. Number 2, build an agency motion. Clay created an entire ecosystem of agencies who build Clay workflows for other companies. That's not just distribution. That's user-generated content on steroids. Every agency customer is a walking case study, posting wins on LinkedIn and social. It's brilliant. It's free marketing. It's clairvoyant. We tried. Number 1, hire unconventionally. Create the GTM engineer. Clay invented a role that didn't exist, the GTM engineer. Not a sales guy, not a dev, both. Someone who can code and close deals. They looked at the talent market and said, nah, we'll make our own. 8 years to overnight success, people. 8 years. Clay's $3 billion valuation didn't happen because they followed best practices. It happened because they ignored best practices and did the weird stuff everyone said wouldn't scale. Just as a note here, overnight success is just survivor bias with better PR. Ask anyone who's actually done it. It's always 8 years of weird bets nobody believed in. Congrats to Clay, by the way. Shout out to my guy, Obed Durrani, also for the UGC, like Clay World Records. I have one, by the way, waiting on my book. It's always a bright spot in my LinkedIn feed. Speaking of bright spots, it's time for the best guest of the week. I'm here with a man who is an eternal bright spot in people's LinkedIn feeds, and that needs no introduction, but it does need a pronunciation. Pete Vomisil?
Pretty close.
For our audience, how do you actually pronounce it?
Vomisil.
Vomisil. Got it. Pete, has anybody ever said your last name kind of sounds like a medicine you might take to cure depression?
I grew up, it was a medicine, it was vomit, it was vomicillin, it's been everything.
Well, my name is Rob Jones, probably the most generic name ever, but something that's not generic, your very colorful open to help hashtag banner. What does that mean? And why did you decide to do that?
Well, for similar reasons. A few years ago, I was looking around and noticed that there was open to work and there was hiring and there was nothing else. And I wasn't doing either of those things at the time, but I looked around LinkedIn and there were so many people who needed a hand. This was in late 23, I guess. And so one day on a whim, I just created the little banner. I did a single post on LinkedIn. Didn't expect much out of it, honestly. And over 2 years later, I've now done close to 600 calls. So I do at least 6 a week, 30-minute calls. And it could be anything, but it's just basically setting the intention to set aside time on my calendar to help strangers if they need it.
600 calls.
Almost 600 of just shy.
Can you narrow down what help means just a bit?
Generally, it's getting unstuck. And it could be anything, but lately it's been, 60-ish% job seekers. So either been laid off or in some kind of a job transition. And so we do a lot of career and job topics in Open to Help. It can be founders. It's CMO peers who are stuck and need a second set of eyes. It can be a lot of things. Just can't be a sales call. or selling me, trying to sling a franchise, not interested.
Yes, right. I'm not selling you anything, nothing at all. But these guys might. We'll be back in about 60 seconds to finish our interview with Mr. Open to Help himself, Pete Vomisil.
BSTN. This summer, The Pipeline Review. Tuesdays at 11 a.m. The same time every week. But this Tuesday, something was different.
What the? Who's responsible for this? Every deal, every required field, every single thing we ask sales to do, it's all complete. I need answers. It wasn't my manager, boss, I swear. Oh, I'm an SDR. I just got my process boards to 0. That's what I was told to do. Me? Oh, no. But I have killed for a tool like that. What? I mean, I would kill for a tool like that.
From the producers who brought you Stacula and Friday the 31st. Introducing The Great Sass Whodunit. Spoiler alert, they're all super guilty. Coming to a CRM near you.
Welcome back to SAS Center, where we were speaking with CMO Pete Vomisil, who is currently #open to help. Pete, can you tell everyone for me that there is absolutely nothing wrong with asking for help?
I think the expectation is that you become an adult and you don't need that. And asking for help is a weakness, right? And I actually think that there's such bravery in actually raising your hand to say, look, I may have this shiny veneer on LinkedIn, but I don't have it all figured out, and I could actually use, a second opinion or just a listening ear. So I appreciate that, and that's what I love being that mirror and providing that safe space to get unstuck. I think it really is important.
As a former children's behavioral therapist, I could not agree more. I worked at an inpatient facility for 5 years out of college. Pete, we are almost out of time, but we'd love to learn one other thing about you and leave on a high note. Rumor has it you're a big Broadway guy. I hear you even used to work on shows and did set production. So can you give us maybe your top 3 favorite Broadway shows of all time?
In no particular order, I'm a big Sondheim fan, so Into the Woods is probably one of my all-time favorites. Just in September, was in New York with my wife. We saw Maybe Happy Ending. And Maybe Happy Ending was a fascinating show. It was originally a Korean musical, opened in Seoul, and now has won, a shelf full of Tonys. I'm going to add another one, which is the favorite show that I've worked on. And that would be War Horse. The horse is basically a giant kind of wicker puppet. And you would think that this thing, there's no way that you can suspend disbelief, right? So theater is all about the suspension of disbelief. I think it also translates into marketing. Marketing is understanding audiences. It's about creating experiences. It's about suspending disbelief in certain circumstances. So there are a lot of through lines between theater and marketing, and kind of all comes together nicely.
Pete, you're a freaking legend. An amazing follow, a superb human being. And I can't thank you enough for chatting with me today. Consider me officially helped.
Well, you got this. And like I said, long time follower, first time caller. Seen you all over LinkedIn, all over in your colorful suits, and just making everybody laugh. And I love that. My only regret is that it's taken us this long to connect.
The feeling is very mutual, sir. Pete Vomisil, the brightest spot in any LinkedIn feed. Go follow Pete. And thanks again, Pete.
Thanks, Rob.
BSTN.
Our next story is where things go south. In the best way. Southbound, the Growth Summit for Revenue Leaders, is coming back for its 3rd year thanks to Rev Partners, a super partner, shout out. It's on April 16th in Atlanta, and I need you to understand the lineup they've assembled here. This is the kind of speaker roster that makes you question what you're doing with your life. I'll go ahead and say rock star lineup, not to be cliche, but only because the venue is the Roxy, a literal venue for rock concerts and rock stars. Yamini Rangan, CEO of HubSpot, person running the ecosystem most of you live in. Mark Roberge, the guy who literally wrote the sales acceleration formula while scaling HubSpot from 0 to 100 million. Donald Miller, who taught an entire generation how to actually message their value without sounding like a robot wrote their website. John Acuff, best-selling author who's figured out how to make people actually finish things they start, which if you're in enablement or work in enablement, you know is basically sorcery. And Rachel Else Downey, a branding and podcasting powerhouse who turns branded content into actual human connection. She was on this show recently. Shout out to Rach. The theme this year is timeless principles, timely plays. And you bet your ass we've got a cognitive neuropsych tidbit for you. Dr. Richard Wiseman's research shows that learning accelerates exponentially when you're in rooms with people who've actually done the thing you're trying to do. Not theorists, not consultants who've never carried quota or managed a sales team. People who've built this stuff and continue to build this stuff. TLDR, you can come make 1,000 new friends while hyper-learning from the best minds available in a rock venue. People, this is year 3 of Southbound. They're not figuring it out. They have figured it out. If you're in revenue operations or go-to-market and you're not in Atlanta on April 16th, the pre-event and post-event FOMO will very likely land you in the ER. Don't let that happen. This is the highest concentration of GTM expertise per square foot you'll find in 2026. Act accordingly. Well, there are conferences and there are rooms where the collective knowledge could rewrite your entire go-to-market strategy. Southbound is the latter. The second one, the good one. Don't miss it. We'll be discussing the biggest Season 2 series announcement since The Mandalorian, or maybe Breaking Bad, when we come back from this quick word from our sponsor.
Yep. Need to find the discount approval process. Let me check. Nope, not here. Damn it. It was in an actual folder, not the Google Drive. Now I need deal stage definitions. Yeah. Be right back. Pinned in our sales ops channel in Slack, of course. Playbook for enterprise sales. Let's go. Yeah, it was in SharePoint at the other office. Back. Qualification criteria. Yep. Yeah, it was in Confluence in Tokyo. Headed back now. Close plan template. It's in that software program we got rid of 2 years ago. Time to log off for the day. All right.
Welcome back to SaaS Center again. I'm Rob Jones. Joining me today is an old friend, Cameron Collins. This week's second best guest. Just to clarify, he's best guest number 2, not second best. And he's a friend I've known for a while, but he's not old. Damn. I digress. Cameron, you came on today to promote a new endeavor you've got. Is that right?
That's right, Rob. And holy shit, I am so excited for the season. We are officially launching Season 1 of the Arena, and we are well into production for Season 2. The Arena is a reality TV competition.
Sorry, Cameron, our censor button seems to be on the fritz. Guys, let's get that fixed. Sorry, go ahead, Cameron.
Oh shit, man. No problem. Anyway, Season 1 of the Arena is all about proving that we can take HubSpot and build a game show around the concepts that we're all working with every single day. This is about being an and making it fun and engaging and really highlighting that the role has become so much more in 2025 than just being a fucking order taker.
Guys, fix the censor. Wait a minute. So at is a bad word, but I can say shitballs.
Yeah, I mean, it's about damn time we broke the stigma, and that's what the arena really aims to do. We want to celebrate, showcase, and highlight the unbelievable and let them compete to see who's the best for some cash prizes from our wonderful sponsors. Because that's what really makes this all possible, and it helps provide the game ideas and the scenarios that make this happen.
Holy mother of graphical inserts. How many logos were on that? Anyway, this has been a strange interview, but you're getting ready for Arena Season 2. What can we expect, and more importantly, when can we expect this?
Well, we had some really fun challenges, including trivia and a game that was akin to a treasure hunt inside of HubSpot. Contestants had to find clues that were hidden using icons that were placed via Super, and each icon led them from one clue to the next. It was really a wonderful and crazy experience for everyone.
I gotta say, I'm more excited for this than I was for the final season of Game of Thrones. Hey, this will be better than the final season of Game of Thrones, right?
And yeah, it will be. You have no idea what these guys had to do to make it through this thing.
Sweet. Cameron Collins, RevOps strategist at RP, that's Rev Partners, Sprocketeer community manager and creator of Arena. We're still doing that? With the bleeping. Sheesh. Okay, Cam, I assume you're also a master of CTAs. Here's your chance to tell our audience what to do, where to find you.
Go check out the Arena on YouTube and join the community on Patreon. Joining us on Patreon unlocks exclusive perks like being able to get early content and behind the scenes content and videos on how we made the games. It's really exciting to be able to follow along there. And for those of you who want to participate in the Arena, make sure you check out the form that we have on thearena.com to let us know you're interested.
You heard the man. Go to all those places and follow Cameron. Cameron, we cannot freaking wait for Arena Season 2 and for that word, the one that keeps getting bleeped, yeah, that one, to not be a bad word anymore. Thank you, Cam. We'll be right back after one more short break, but when we do come back, we'll tell you how one mega tech giant with $1 trillion market cap has a soaring stock because they did not spend billions on AI.
BSTN.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Welcome back.
Excited to chat about the new job, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
There was I guess a press release.
It was more of a LinkedIn post,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've joined Supered.
So what exactly is it?
Sure, so Supered is a Chrome extension where you store all of your company documentation, your processes, your knowledge base, enablement updates, anything. And what Supered does is puts that documentation into the apps that a user's team is actually using.
Whoa.
Right? See, the issue with most enablement or LMS or adoption platforms is that your team and your customers have to leave the platform that they're working in to go and get an answer or to learn how to use it.
What happens?
Well, it adds a lot of friction, or maybe they can't find it, or they waste a lot of time getting answers. So instead, you put your documentation into Supered. You tell Supered where you want it to appear, within which app you want, and it literally augments that app to show the documentation in the app the person's using.
I'm so scared of that, but so excited about it at the same time. Is that weird?
So I'm sure your listeners and your viewers spend time answering questions about process or where to get certain information because people don't know where to find it, or maybe they forgot. So what Supered does is it puts you in the room without actually being there.
And there's no need for noises, no need for mouth noises.
Most of us call that talking, Joe. Yeah, it's like RevOps glue for your tech stack, knowledge base, and processes.
I've said is like that there could be potentially a universal language that's created through computers.
Yeah, this could be that.
It could be. It may be. What's the odds?
Well, it's free to try. So if folks out there are looking at ways to enforce their team's processes, maybe improve communication, or improve the adoption of tools in their tech stack, then they can download the Chrome extension and try it for free. There's literally no commitment.
Once you become a god, it seems very, very unlikely you're going to want to go back to being stupid again.
I think that is how a lot of our customers feel.
How about them apples? Yep, Apple was down 18% earlier this year, while every other single tech giant was dumping billions into AI. They still are. Now, Apple's up 35%, and Wall Street is suddenly very interested in not lighting money on fire. Turns out the best AI strategy might be waiting to see if AI actually works. So Apple stock, like I said, is up 35% this year. And you know what they did to earn it? Not a damn thing. Absolutely nothing. Well, I guess being patient. While Microsoft, Google, and Meta were in a bidding war to see who could spend the most billions on AI data centers, literally competing to burn cash faster, Apple just didn't. They were down 18% earlier this year, and every analyst was like, Apple's missing the AI revolution. They're doomed. Guess what? Wall Street is now AI weary. Shocking. It's almost like throwing infinite money at a technology that can't reliably count how many R's are in strawberry. Wasn't the brilliant investment thesis everyone thought it was. Here's what additionally makes this beautiful, sweet, sweet revenge. Daniel Kahneman's research on loss aversion shows that investors feel losses twice as strongly as gains. So when you're watching your competitors light billions on fire for AI that might be revolutionary someday, and you're just sitting there making iPhones, it's not cowardice. That's called not being an idiot, and maybe being a responsible fiduciary. I don't know. Apple looked pretty stupid in March. Apple looks like a genius in December, and somewhere Tim Cook is quietly sipping his coffee, thinking, "Yeah, I'll wait for AI 2.0. Thanks." Patience isn't sexy, but it beats explaining to shareholders why you bought 10,000 GPUs for a chatbot that hallucinates. Well, that's all we have for today and for this week. Remember to be kind. Touch grass and get sunshine at least twice a day. And for God's sakes, laugh a little bit. Go and follow us also on YouTube at BSTN-Super. We've got a massive overhaul of value coming to the channel starting very soon, after Santa Claus comes to town, of course. See you next week on BSTN.
BSTN.
Speaking of Santa Claus coming to town, Matt is busy and Crispy was sick yesterday, so no part in the POV today, but we've got something that'll make you say WTF, literally WTF framework. Ho, ho, ho. Enjoy it. Coming up next.
What is WTF framework? Stop optimizing events for demos. Stopped optimizing events for demos. We thought zero. We'd have the salespeople would bring it. How are we going to get? I said, stop thinking about it. It does not matter until it's like the last thing. It's a logistical concern. It is not the primary concern. The biggest issue, if you walk away for nothing, for the 4 people that are in here right now, remember, do not optimize for demos. I'm not lying to you. I just like, it's one thing for me to say it out loud. It's another thing for me to execute it. So there are 2 things. You see this 96. That was our first inbound 25 when we first came to the scene. We learned a whole lot from that. We did some things really wrong, some things right. And then we learned a lot. We went to inbound on 25. We did 220 demos. This is people walking to our booth, looking at something, talking to us, and booking a demo. This is not number of people tagged. This isn't a list creation. These are booked on our calendar. It literally blew up our entire company. I had to take demos. Even on the day of, everybody had to give a demo. We had our product team, sales was inundated. We probably missed demos because we weren't organized for it, quite frankly. Ashley was giving demos to people, and she doesn't know how to give demos to people, as an example, because she ran the event. It's hard. This is what I mean. It broke us in the best possible ways. This is the comments we're getting over and over and over again. We are literally still getting leads. I met with a lead last week, and I said, "How did you hear about us?" And he's like, "Oh, I saw your booth last year, and I'm just now getting around to scheduling my demo." Mind blown. That's what created the okay. So why do people think demos are a priority? It's really important we sit with this because there is logic here. This is not people just made it up. This is real. It is. Events are expensive. Actually, I'll ask you to put in the comment, how much does an event cost to do at Salesforce or any of these big events? We spent $500,000 at Inbound 24. We spent $300,000 last year. This year. That's a lot of money. And so when you're spending a lot of money, it is natural and even necessary for someone to say, is it worth the time we're spending? And this is not time spent. This is money spent, right? If we did time, it'd be even more. Is it worth it? That's a appropriate question. That is a worthy question. The answer will almost always be no if you optimize for demos for. Now let's go and I'll tell you why. But here's how a CFO thinks about that, because they're not in marketing, they're not thinking, they're not experiencing. What they think is, if I spend that much money, I must return 3x my revenue in Y months, or 4x or 5x. Often it's 10x. And they'll say, hey, I don't care what you do. Here's your money. I just need 25 demos. And that's often because I think. So marketing sets booked demos as their KPI. And this is real. You have book demos as my KPI, which makes us start. So like, what happens next? This is what happens next. You get a booth and the lead list matters. The lead list matters so much because it is the leads. It's the only thing marketing can claim. They have their this is my lead list and I have to work it. And you then pound them into the sand to make sure that you get leads from this list. You have a demo goal, and it's the only way you can justify your metric, and it's straight vanity. This is how every marketing department I talk to usually runs. And if they don't run this, like they say they don't run this, what they do, you get lead lists and you run something against it. Here's reality and why this doesn't work, even though it's a good thought. It is buyer journeys are just not linear, whether you like it or not. It's one of the reasons HubSpot now has something called loop marketing. I told Robert this, I showed him this. I have found a double loop out there. Just like people see double rainbows, I found a double loop. If you twist it enough, it becomes DNA. Attribution is on a single event is just straight fiction, almost exclusively like straight fiction, unless you can get someone to sign up. But no one's I saw you right here today and I'm going to buy right now. That logic is just irrational at this point, and someone is naive if they think that's true. So to base events on straight booking demos is not how it works, because people just show up later. I mean, this happened. I saw you in inbound 24. If I was actually doing attribution in inbound 24 and I cared about this, I actually would never have gotten value to this because you wouldn't be here anymore. I'd be like, we spent $500,000 and we didn't get $500,000 of value back already. If I thought that way, our marketing, Robert wouldn't work here right now. We wouldn't have 2 video editors, right? That's not how the world works. That is, if I thought this way, then we wouldn't organize the way we wouldn't be starting a news network. Buyers do not. Logic is a lot like, hey, is it going to work? Is much, 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 much more emotional than it is logical. It is much more emotional than it is logical, because they have to make a bet and they have to trust and they have to think. And whether the software works or not, you are creating emotions in people, and they're fundamentally, is this a good bet? Am I going to bet my business on this? For us helping solutions partners, that is the question they're asking us. Is this a good bet? Am I going they're sink or swim? So we have to there's an emotional play. Do I trust? Do I like even being with these people? Do I want to do business? This matters way more. And it's going to get more true as AI shows up more. People will crave authenticity more, and they want to be with the people they like, not to be with robots. This will be even more true, not less true. And AI will reveal people don't make logical decisions. It will not help people make logical decisions. It'll be the other way around. Logic follows feelings in B2B, not the other way around, or created this way. It shifts the KPI. Yeah. What was our demo goal for inbound 2025? What was the goal? How many demos were we trying to get inbound 2025?
0.
I actually said a 0. I said 0. I just want everybody to hear it. I said, and then Ashley come, but Matt, doesn't make it 0. Doesn't make any sense. 0. It would just be every single time. The reason I say 0 isn't I want demos. We need to go. We're trying to. It's just so low. It's just so low on the priority. So this is the birth of this. Is WTF just means what? I don't like to curse, but I do like to win. So I use WTF. Wow, that's fun. But it should be what the, that's what we're actually what the F is happening over there. You actually need people stop. They must stop and say, what's happening over there? I don't care if you don't know what Super does. I care that you want to know what Super does. I don't organize for you knowing. We organize for you believing. And believing is an emotion. So when you have WTF, is everything must be themed. And so you must go hard in the theme, and everyone must believe it. Success is, you need to make a metric on this: curiosity, shareability, and emotional resonance. That is success. So what I care most about, and we would say, hey, I don't want 100 demos set. And so what we measure is how many people point at Super. So we measure for emotional resonance and shareability. That's why, hey, can I take a picture with you? Can I? Hey, what do you do? Hey, guys, I don't know what you do, but I love the pink. What do you do? Pillar 1, and I like to say is 50 meters away. 50 meters away. So that means from a distance. From a distance. You need something that says it's obvious and intriguing. So someone should be able to see or hear or something that is 50 meters away can hear or see you. If I was doing college football theme, we may have a football keeps flying over, up and down. Like I like to think vertically as well. So something high, like something happens up and down. There's an anchor to this, right? There's a prop, there's a color, there's a sound, and it happens over and over again. Then when people actually walk up, there's a 5 meter. And so think of this 50 meter away. What the F is happening over there? And then 2 meters away, what the F just happened? Did that really just happen to me? Right? It's what's happening over there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's happening to me now. This is a big one, a cohesive team outfit that creates identity, and it from head to toe. So we believe from this WTF framework, this means every single person wears the same thing from the beginning of the show for the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And we all look the same the entire time because the show does not stop at the booth. We're creating experiences for people at the event. When you are at the booth or anywhere you are with us, there's an immersive feeling that feels like a mini world. The way it looks, the way it smells, what we're doing, what we're wearing, what we're saying, all of it. It's a mini world. And if you do this, I know it sounds so simple. It is. And that's why I'm flabbergasted that we don't have more of these. Do some of our booth for 2024. Let me show you what this means to us. Admin Central is the thing. What you saw was we had this superhero admin central thing. We're going to be the place where admins are. They can feel comfortable. We had places to sit and places to be. And people would say, hey, that was my home base. So we had gaming centers, and we had we had like sponsors that would come in. Everybody had their own superhero. We had I hope you saw the uniforms that came out. We had places to get coffee. We had tattoos you could get of different items. We had our own event it was called an event within an event. So we had this very visually big, very visually appealing place.
Like I'm dealing blackjack, I'm like air traffic control. But for the tech stack, I design, I build, then I train and update. If people have an issue, I'm the one they locate. Here's my little secret, and it's why we grow. I really never panic, I just work the flow. Just work. That flow. Just work. That flow. Just work.
We made an entire music album. Right. Once you start thinking about experiences and not thinking about demos, you put your efforts in places. We had a music album. We had culminating events. And so one of the things is this event is not a booth. It is an experience that culminates into these several different spaces where people are. So we had an event. We had admin of the year come with this. We gave away $10,000. And so we had some cool, all of that going together. How do I talk to CFOs if this is true? Number one, use us as examples. If you call me into a conversation, I will actually help you build a case for how we can do this better. We need more people doing this in the HubSpot ecosystem because it helps everyone. We grow, we get bigger and better together. And it will have long tail effects on the entire ecosystem the more people doing this. It is if we look at events, a singular events where people purchase and are sourced in the same place in the same place, it's not worth. No event's worth it. Period. No event's worth it. if you open up and you start thinking about how people buy today, events become one of the most provocative, experiential, and authentic ways to create relationships and experiences with people that will be beyond the event itself. And if you do it in a way that's not for demos, you will start doing things like ecosite mindshare. People get good bet status. Hey, I know them. I think they're good. And you're starting to get like there's a level of just saturation that occurs. The reality check is if marketing is just a cost center, it's never just a cost center if it's measured right. We don't even do real outbound today. Everything we built our entire company to $3 million, really freaking hard for a SaaS company, especially in the HubSpot ecosystem. There is no SaaS companies that are HubSpot native doing well, really, really well, except super. Like, why? Why is that true? It's because it's really freaking hard, and you have to look at experiences first. And events are not lead capture. They're not a point in place where you capture leads. They're where you create belief in people and the humans that are there. It's where you get experiences, where you create fun. It is not a capture moment, it's a belief moment. So the math is experience, belief, pipeline, revenue. And they don't go in that order. If you give people experiences, they can start believing you, but you can start having people come in demos, and then you can start then having revenue. Demos are a side effect, never the goal. My goal is 0. I hope I get 400. This is part of a larger strategy we call Southbound, which is anywhere. And if you're thinking about the problems that we solve, we will be there in some way, in some capacity. So WTF framework applies actually to not more just events, but to virtual things. That's why we're creating the BSTN network. I've always been impressed by Caleb and Super, starting from the high energy personalized videos. So one of our outbound, we only send outbound. We have to send videos. You have to send videos because it's part of the WTF idea. And finally, we had the ability to meet in person, and it becomes meeting in person. This was not a lead capture. This was an experience into belief. Yeah, this is my boy Daniel from HubSpot. We have not tried to work with HubSpot reps at any capacity in any way. We have created no experiences for them. And he did this, and we're the only people he went and talked about. And he's like, hey, they threw a bumping after party in one of my favorite places, and booth was great, swag was great. Created memorable places, made songs that helped create that experiences, had a camera crew that was like this. All this stuff is not about optimizing for demos. It's about getting people a feeling about what Super stands for, who we are. We need a good product, but we first need something you can believe in and people you can believe in. That creates this. I'm going to do a quick demo and review of Super, where we are the world's easiest way to get a rep to follow yo process. Put in a different way, as we are, the spell check of the sales process. I'm going to go a little bit deeper in this. You'll find out why and how we created Super, where we win, and a quick little demo specific for the HubSpot ecosystem. Okay. So Super, what do? We turn sales process into action. Now, by the end, this will make lots of sense. So we are the #1 sales enablement app in the HubSpot ecosystem, one of the fastest growing, the best rated, 115 plus 5 stars at this point, and the fastest growing, with some logos to count: Zapier, Google's, Gmail, and Sandler. Now, we believe why Super was created is we live in a new reality, and that reality is one that was the sales enablement 1.0 was built for a sales floor that no longer exists. Pre-COVID, you had these bullpens, you had mosh pits, you could literally hear and see the best rep give one of the presentations. A sales manager could tap you on the back of the shoulder and give you in-the-moment correction. That doesn't exist. The way we train and the day we learn in distributed environments is fundamentally different. Now, we've evolved to this, and the way we've done that is we've made we've helped transfer knowledge better. For duration, we turn it to long to short, and for timing, it's one time and on demand, right? We've gotten really good at knowledge transfer. But one thing my mom knows that you know inherently too is that knowing what to do right doesn't mean we do what is right. Knowledge transfer does not change behavior. Let's give some examples. As spend from 2018 to 2025 has 4x'd, and this is from Gartner. 4x increase in spend. Time spent on selling activities has decreased over that same time. We got a problem. Spend is up. Rep productivity is down. We believe, Super believes this for Sales Enablement 2.0 that that there is a missing piece called last mile delivery, and that is fundamentally this: how do I get a human to run a sales process or any revenue process when no one's watching? And that's a behavior problem, not a knowledge transfer problem, behavior problem. So how do you fix it? This is how Super does it. From the rep perspective, we move from playbook, from a document on a page, to in the flow work. We take the rules, we create a consolidated list of every deal or every record in the database that you need to do something to based on that rule. It gives you a playlist. You go from a playbook to a playlist, and that then takes you directly where you need to be in the CRM, telling you what to do and how to do it. You learn in the flow of work, complete clarity on what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. Managers taking these words, turning them to action, and getting the visibility what's actually working in the sales process. You have you can now take that. You take all the rules. You can have who has the most number of violations, what's changing over time, and you can finally say, is it a rep issue, is it a process issue, or is it a me issue, and answer the question. Super is the bridge between blueprint and behavior. Go into what this actually means, what this looks like. So right now I am in a on our website, right? The world's easiest way. We equip people when and where they work. And I'm a salesperson for the first day. What do? All I do is I click my sidekick, and from the sidekick, I go to processes, and we run every one of our processes in Super using what we call a process board. The process board are a set of rules telling me where I should prioritize my time, frameworks. Think of this as the rep. I can replicate my rep. I click on that. And as a sales rep, all I have to do is push play. Right now I'm looking, I can see, this is me. I can see the entire organization over time. Are we decreasing, increasing? Looking at this quarter, I can see we're getting better, we're getting worse. What are we currently, what do we need to focus time on? So let's say right now I am, let's say I'm Kev King, and I was showing up as him. All he does is push play, and it takes him directly to a customer, and that customer will tell you what you need to do. So here is one. This is saying, hey, yes, this is a partner setup, but this is currently missing a company, and it tells you what to do and how to do it. Now, what's beautiful about this is in real time, right? So I now push, I can add a company. I'm adding some random company, push next, push save. And in real time, that will immediately go away. This is what's beautiful. Reps, whether you're new or you're old, it can keep everything tight. You do your exact process, and in real time, it tells you if it's done or not. It is the data. It's the right thing. And that's from a rep perspective. And you can just do that for any type of sales. Let me get rid of this just so we have that. Okay, so that's from the rep perspective. I already showed you from the manager perspective. I'm Xing out of this, and I can see are we following or not following it. It's that simple, guys. This it does not take a whole lot of time to set up. So something like this activity, for example, all that is, it's if I go inside, it's saying, hey, anything that has a pipeline and is open, and the last activity is unknown or unknown, which is the or, I want to show a violation. If you're not sure exactly what it means, you just AI summary, and it will show you. And what's cool about it, so it identifies a role, a specific pipeline with an open staff, has no activity in the last 5 days, right? Beautiful. Now, what's cool about this is if this doesn't take some documentation. I have no documentation, right? I just have an expectation that you will touch. And if I change that expectation, there is no longer lag. I just come in here, and if I push 10, the entire sales process and team would only be show a violation 10, and they would be taken to that record every 10 days instead of every 5 days to do that action. Okay, there's a lot more here, but if you want to know more, feel free to book some demo time. You can either do it with Caleb at super.io, or go to our website directly. We go to the website directly, get a demo, and book for my employees, and pick a time here. If you have any questions, let me know. Everybody stay awesome. Keep doing it big, and never ever stop believing. Adios.